Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline Live in studio, the BPTV studio. Thanks for watching us on Comcast 7. We appreciate you. And thanks for watching us on Verizon in Bethel Park and throughout the whole area, from Nemacolin to Cranberry, Wexford. Just saw the Facebook page, 6,401 likes. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching and liking us. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. We got Chip Hayner here, Smoking Jim Frazier, and we got our fill-in guest that we've been waiting for. He's been on the IR. He's got to get surgery. He said he might talk about it on the show. Ernie's here. We'll have a segment of Kush time.
Okay. Right.
So I can't wait for that. Looks like he has some things. You got those 3 boxes there, and you got all kind of other stuff. Well, we're going to talk some sports. We start out with what's on your mind. And I'm going to start right now with Ernie. What is on your mind, Ernie?
Well, I'll tell you what's on my mind. I'm glad to be back. I guess he mentioned on the show, I took a fall. I fell out of my garage attic. You know, it was one of those with the flip steps, you know, you bring it down and you go up.
I remember those very well.
And it's all clean, and they're brand new aluminum steps I had in a year ago, and I'm up in the back, and I'm all proud. You know, there was so much stuff up there. You grab the box, right, cardboard, and it just disintegrated. Okay, so I'm up there.
Is that your story?
That's almost.
You didn't take a bad step trying to get out.
My glasses were broke, so I put on these bifocals, and I was coming back out, so I would grab my foot on the step there. And when I went to step, there was no step. So I catapulted forward, and then the fall was like, I knew, oh boy, I'm in trouble. And then I hit.
Oh, I can't imagine.
And then so there was blood, you know, my arms, I was like into the side of the steps. So I had to pull myself out. No, I didn't. There was towels on the other side.
What about that head of yours?
Well, the head's healed. You
hit the head.
I had stitches here, and I had like 9 stitches and about 11 staples. They just, that's interesting. You ever have staples put in?
No.
Pat. So, and then I had messed up my arms, but I got up, cleaned the, I had to go over here to get a towel, so the blood went with me, and I got a towel, wet it down, soaked my head in cold water, wiped it all up, got in the shower, came home. My wife came home and says, oh my, what happened? Because she just saw my eye, and she saw my head. She goes, oh. So we went up, I got it stitched and everything, and then come to find out now I need to have shoulder surgery, rotacup. So I'm not going to
Don't let him cut. Don't let him cut.
No, he's not cutting. It's going to be coming up here pretty soon, so I guess it's 4 weeks in a sling, no driving.
No driving, no, but you're going to be ready to take the mound again this spring, right?
Well, I hope so. My contract's still good. I'm still paid, you know. I'm one of those $1 million babies.
We know who you are.
As long as you don't lose the speed on your fastball, we're good.
Yeah. Good thing I'm not left-handed. Okay.
He can toss it. Well, thanks for the update on you.
I'm good. Glad to be here.
We're glad to have you. Can't wait for Kush time. We'll get into that in a little bit. Smoking Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the Talk Machine. And if you want the greens,
Coming at you.
you got to see Levine. I almost had to die for that one. My old quarterback high school option days.
Don't try
coming
writing
back
with
down
that when
you.
it dried up a little bit.
Okay.
That's just for show.
I wanted to give a shout out to my business partner, Jody Velasquez. This afternoon, being that I only work 3 days a year, Jody and I went to see The Hands of Stone, the movie with Roberto Duran, one of my favorite fighters of all time. I highly recommend it, but it's not doing real good at the box office.
You mean Mr. Nomas?
Mr. Nomas, that's it, man.
Wow.
That is it. That's the worst thing he could have ever done in his life. But he was what a great, great fighter. But what's on my mind is, and Jody was looking good. But anywho,
Thanks, Smoking Jim.
what's on my mind, again, is the 40-year curse of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'll be very, very quick.
No. We want to find out the research that you were supposed to do on Art Rooney, Senior.
I didn't get a chance to quite get that research done, but I'm getting closer to the reason why the 40-year curse. And while you were gone, Ernie, we talked about the Steelers drafted Lynn Dawson. There's no documentation, but take my word for it, they drafted Bobby Lane. They drafted Johnny Unitas, Bob Ferguson. Right. And today I'm going to talk about their first pick overall in the 1942 draft. And that was none other than Bullet Bill Dudley. Bullet Bill Dudley in 1942 was the NFL Rookie of the Year. He went and served his country in the military from 43 to 45. Came back and was NFL Player of the Year in 1946. He led the NFL in rushing, punt returns, interceptions. He was also a runner for the Steelers, a passer. He returned punts. He returned kickoffs. He also was their kicker, their punter, and he was a starter on their defense, so that made the Steelers trade him. So the Steelers traded him to begin the 47 season. And Bullet Bill Dudley, who has a great name, maybe one of the greatest college players of all time, was voted as one of the top 80 Washington Redskins of all time. So who knows?
Did you say top 80?
One of the top 80 Washington
That's unbelievable.
Redskins of all time. And who knows if it wasn't for the military fighting in World War II at that time, and the Steelers trading Bullet Bill Dudley, and the curse, the Pittsburgh Steelers might have won a lot of championships with Bullet Bill Dudley, one of the all-time great Steelers.
Well, thanks for what's on your mind, but we're still wondering why you're the only one that calls this a curse after all these years. So there's still a mystery there.
I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
There is no curse. There was no curse. It was just the same old Steelers. SOS, baby. And you grew up with SOS. So you can't lie about that. Well, have fun with your curse research. Hopefully you ask a question when you're at the Steeler camp, wherever it may be. And let's go to Chip. What's on your mind, Chip Painter?
Well, thank you. Good evening, everybody. What's on my mind tonight is I think the NFL finally found a way to make 16 games as meaningless as the Pro Bowl is every January. And they did this by having the final preseason football game this week. Is there any starters on any of the teams that are going to play this weekend? The answer to that question is a resounding no. So that being said, why are people being charged to come and watch the games? Now, we know the owners are greedy, and they charge full price for the tickets for the preseason games, same as they do the regular season games. And if you're a season ticket holder, and my friend here has been a season ticket holder for many, many years, you don't get a choice. You have to buy the preseason games. It's the biggest waste of time, television time, and money that I've seen. And I think really, they doing away with this game altogether. If you want to give the guys, I think what they should do is make a month-long training camp. If you're going to have a scrimmage like you had last week where the starters played for 2 series, then have one real game, have a bunch of scrimmages, give them 2 weeks off before the first game of the season so everybody can go into the season supposedly healthy, and you'd have a much better product during the regular season, and you wouldn't be taking advantage of the fans and wasting everybody's time. And then, of course, you see star players getting hurt left and right. Teddy Bridgewater may not play again this year or for the rest of his career. Snapped his leg in half in practice. Tony Romo on a late hit in a preseason game, which, to touch on a rant that Jim made over the weekend regarding some high school football teams in the area. In the preseason games, why don't you put red jerseys on the quarterbacks so that they can play and without having to worry about getting hurt? But, apparently the red jerseys don't seem to work so well, and they
some guys might be colorblind.
The Shaler Titans are the ones that are evidenced by that. But, do away with these preseason games. They're meaningless. They're a waste of time. Let's get back to some real football. And that starts next Thursday.
We're ready.
That's what's on my mind.
Thanks, Chip. I did break my rule and watch the preseason game when the
Good for you.
Steelers started Big Ben and AB.
Good for you.
And then after they took him out, I didn't watch anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I can't say.
He could. He just doesn't want to censor.
What's on my mind is after our show last night at Atria's, great show, a lot of guests. Went home, the Bucks were getting beat 3-0 by Arietta. It was 3-1, and it didn't look too good. A couple guys are on base, and Polanco gave a nice easy swing and crushed the ball to left field. A 3-run homer, took the lead. Unbelievable. Jay Hay had made a play to end the inning. And this inning before, he made a great play. Come up, he knocked in 2 runs also. Bucks were up 6-3. Then the bullpen failed them. You know, they got some hits, little dink, little hit here, there, tied the game. They go into extra innings. I went to bed. Couldn't hang. Took 13 innings for him to lose.
No, and I'll tell you what, the Pirates are playing a much, much better brand of baseball, and the Cubs, well, they're going to make a splash until they get to the playoffs, and then they're going to go.
They're playing my Cubbies? I love the Cubs, my team.
You forgot to tune in. You missed the radio, too. It was on radio last night,
We had
too.
a show last night.
Well, after you're on the ride home. But I forget you were escorting somebody home.
That's right. He doesn't have a radio in his car. That way he can't be tracked.
Who knows what he could do.
Yeah, that GPS tracking device I had put on there was wired through the radio antenna.
But the good news is we're actually in a pennant race, and they're a game and a half behind St. Louis for the second wild card position. So somehow they're in it. They can keep playing. I'm not going to criticize whether the bullpen's holding them or losing them or who knows what's going on. It's some exciting baseball. I call them the comeback kids. They get down a run or two, they're always in every game. Have no fear. They're here. So it's exciting baseball. We'll see what happens. And I'm still a big fan. And let's go on to our next segments here. Ernie, you're back up.
All right.
I'm back up.
We got
okay.
Cush time. Do you got anything for Connor to do a close-up of? Because
Well,
he's ready this week.
It's going to be a little easier because I brought some bigger things, but I know that I've got Jim here to help me too open some.
Well, that's not going to work out real well.
But
He's
I
eating
am
right now. By the way, thank you, Olive Oil's Pizzeria. We appreciate the pizza and the steak hoagie. Matter of fact, get a close-up of Smoking Jim Frazier Connor. He's doing a nice number on that last piece of pizza.
Done. Almost done.
Call them at 412-831-1900. And I was trying to give you some time, Ernie, to get your stuff out.
I got it. I'm ready, baby.
Because Smoking Jim's not going to be able to help you.
He's not. Well, he won't have to help me yet. Okay.
I got a bad shoulder, too.
I don't know about later.
Well, I brought some.
Oh, man. Eric Dickerson.
So I brought some of these pictures that I had a chance to go through some stuff.
Oh, is that sweet?
Can
So-
you just hold that there, Connor? That's a nice shot.
Oh, is that sweet?
Look, we got Ernie there all healed up. Staples are right.
Now here's one of
Who is it?
who is that?
Iron Mike.
Iron Mike.
Iron
Now,
Mike.
if you notice,
You
obviously,
heard of him, didn't you?
What all this is involving is that these guys I was doing with the shoes. That's why I was taking pictures.
Oh, that's Converse.
There's Converse there. I worked with all these guys. That's I don't know who that is, but this is if you want to look at
John Cole.
John Cole, yeah.
Webster
Cowboy.
here. You can see where he took magic marker and even painted his shoes over where he taped it. That's what they used to do when they played on those old turf shoes.
Ooh.
And then this one here is a pretty
The
nice
legend.
collection
That's
I
the
have.
man right
That's
there.
the legend.
That's a pretty nice picture. I'd like to find him to sign it.
Oh, yeah, good. Have fun with that.
And then here you go. You got number 97. Who's that?
Is that Aaron Jones?
Yeah, it sure is. Talk about
it
having
took me a minute. You really went back. You guys probably took his contract away.
Yeah, well, they did. I remember that. Then this guy here was pretty popular in Pittsburgh, wasn't he?
Who's that?
Mark
Malone, yeah.
Yeah.
If you'll notice, see, like he's got the
You got a shot of the shoes.
Oh yeah,
That's
well,
nice.
if you
How
can
come every photo
Didn't
has a
he
shot of their
marry
shoes?
like
Because that's what I was getting
Like
at.
Yeah,
do.
I think you're right. I
Just
forgot
double
about
check it
that.
out.
This one I think I showed before on a smaller scale, but that's two legends. Ooh, there's this.
Is
There
that
you go.
Get the
Chuck
glare.
Knox?
There, that's what.
No.
That's
Shula.
Shula. Oh, Shula, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's
Where do you get them all from?
I
can't
believe
believe
Chuck
it.
Noll
Well, I found a
coached on.
Remember this
on
guy?
Shula's
You know
staff.
that guy, right?
Johnny Ray.
Johnny Ray. Yep. And then we got one more here. Of course, I was showing this one before, but I think
Mad Dog.
Mad Dog with Tony
Yeah.
Barterone.
Weren't you in his wedding?
Which one's
Well,
the-
he was in my wedding.
Which one's the Mad Dog?
He's the
Bill
guy.
Madlock, right
Wait,
there,
he-
batting champion right there, two
He's
times.
the one with the metal cleats on. See, he's wearing his Converse too at the time. He was an endorser.
And he was in your wedding. Thanks
Then
for clarifying.
I have. Oh wait a second. How'd that get in there?
What's that?
That's my dad. He was a Marine. Now you know how I got my butt kicked all those years. See?
Wow.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Wow,
How come
your
you don't
dad's a
show
handsome
shoes in
guy.
that photo?
He was good, man. He
Dad is
kicked-
a handsome guy,
He
man.
used
Nice.
to say, if I ever catch you
Yeah.
smoking, I'll cut your fingers off. I went,
Smoking what?
"Whoa." Yeah, well, back then.
Even cigarettes?
Yeah, just
Oh, I
he
didn't
didn't
know
like
that.
it.
Everybody used to
Yeah.
smoke
He
cigarettes.
used to tell
back
me
then.
that his friends had records as long as their arms, and I'm going, you mean to tell me if I get arrested, they're gonna put a tattoo on my arm? You know?
Wow.
And anyway, and then
What else do you got?
Oh, I got a
for
couple
Kush
other
time?
things. Here we go. We got back in the day with Converse. This is pretty. I found these too in my.
What is it?
Well, let's see. Let's take a look at it here. We got
Let me
this
know if you
guy
need
here.
help.
You might hold that.
Oh, Larry Bird, I'll hold that
Wow.
See.
Larry
one. He got
Legend.
Converse on.
Yeah.
They made them in green?
well.
They look good.
Yeah. Well.
They do
This was
anything
black.
wrong.
They made them wear black back then, but there's.
They look green, didn't they?
Look black. Smoking Jim, I don't know what you're looking at.
Must be colorblind.
Yeah.
Then we got some more bird here. These are pretty. I found these just in my basement.
Now tell me that ain't green. See?
That's a bird's nest, huh?
Yeah.
That's bird's nest. I didn't get it. Yeah, that's right. That is nice.
Wow.
Have you ever met Larry Bird?
Yeah, spent some time with him. I worked the bird golf outing. I'll put that on. And then here we go with, who we got here? We got, sometimes I just want to throw things in there and surprise myself when I get here, you know?
Well, you're surprising us.
Wow, heck yeah.
How's that?
This Kush time's on fire with these photos.
Man, I'll tell you what.
Thanks for bringing the big photos.
I think this next one might be the doctor, right?
Yeah, it's a good doctor.
The doctor's
He
in the
made
house?
house calls. Did you know that?
The doctor got some
Wow.
Converse on.
So what I was able to do is that I found these.
Was that toilet paper on his
Well, you
shoe?
guys can each have a poster here.
Oh, are you
How cool
serious?
is that?
And even you guys working in behind the scenes guys.
The doc-
No way. Thank you.
This is going up tonight, brother.
And I think there's, I just have a few of these, but there's 3 of these. Here,
Oh,
pass
I get a
those out.
bird?
Yeah, you get it.
All right.
In his black shoes.
They are.
This Kush time's
They
on
are
fire.
black.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's see.
Living legend, this is.
Oh, and then
Thank you.
I like my
I was
Converse.
going through my stuff and I found a baseball program for my brother in 1967, official scorebook.
Wow.
Appleton Foxes. And the interesting thing is that game that they're playing here, and I'm going to give this Chip because Chip knows, but they're playing the Clinton, Pittsburgh Pirates Clinton. Did any of those guys ever make it? Some of those names on there on the right?
See some of them names, man. Joe Barnett sound familiar.
I don't know. It's not looking like it.
I mean, that was back in the 70s, so
They don't look like they went far.
Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce, that sounds familiar.
Yeah,
In basketball.
he's a basketball player.
Smoking Jim, you're an NFL scout. This baseball thing, it's not working out real well.
and then I found my This is real small, but this is what the Converse 1989 All-Pro team.
We'll get a close-up on
Here
that.
we
Watch
go.
this. Connor's pulling in.
Connor, here we go, baby. And then, so in that group is, Reggie Theus.
Trying to get it.
You got Larry Bird. Look at these little things here. This is Bird. And then in that year, in 1989, Topps and the card company said, no. You guys cannot do cards.
Wow.
So I was handing these out at a clinic one day.
Tops it then.
Yeah,
Topps.
and all of them. They didn't want us doing it. Mark Price, remember him? Rex Chapman I had. Mark Aguirre. This set, you go on eBay, if people are selling them. But what happened was I used to hand these out. I'd give them to the kids at all the camps.
What are they worth?
It's on the beholder, right? Some people. Look,
Well, what are some of them? What are some of them going for? Do you know?
Some go for $14 down to 99 cents a card, and then the packages go for like 13 or 15.
Nice.
So what I said is one day I was handing them out. I said, I'm not going to hand these out anymore. So I ended up counting what I had the other day, and I have like 1,500 sets.
There's $1,500 at least.
Well, if you find someone that wants them, call 1-800. No, But Bill Lambier's in there. We got a whole group. Bernard King, Magic Johnson. So next time I'll bring some Magic Johnson posters. I don't think I brought any this time.
With some Converses?
Yeah, they're all Converse. We all had these people. We endorsed them, and we used to work with them. And I know Larry used to work in the. I worked a lot with Larry Bird at the time, doing his golf outing. We sponsored it out of Terre Haute.
I remember you told us before, and now you're confirming it again in front of Smoking Jim. He may recall.
He might recall that. But
Ernie and Larry were involved with
what I'm doing now is I've went through all my containers, and I have, it's called My Life of Containers, that are all labeled, and I'll show a picture of it, and then I'm going to pull everything out, and then I will put a nice little video together one day here.
Nice.
Put it on the air.
No, thanks for bringing this.
So that's,
photos. What else do you got there?
Well, that's pretty much it. I guess I left one at home. I had some others, but give me something to do next time.
You want to go out to the car and double check?
Yeah, give me 5.
We'll carry on. No, thanks, Ernie. I appreciate it.
Yeah, good.
And thanks for these posters.
Yeah, those are vintage, man. There are not many of them around.
Wow.
And I had some, not many, but I thought, you guys have been so good. I said, you guys would probably enjoy having those,
You're right. Thank you very much, sir.
So there you go, man.
That's it for Kush Time?
That's it for Kush Time. I'm going to do a lot of listening now, I think. I'll maybe chime in on any stories that are going on.
All right. Might be possible.
Is that enough? You see enough? Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay.
And special assist by Connor. He was on fire tonight. He got all those, even those little cards.
Connor, you were awesome, man. You just came in and out when you needed to. That was awesome.
All right, we're going to move on to Fiction and Fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac.
I tell you what, I may take a little heat for Fiction and Fact this week. I seem to be taking some heat on Facebook, so I might as well.
Well, then don't say anything.
Well,
I hate to see you take heat.
I like to get the facts out here. I'm rating it. This is the first year that the WPIL have 6 classifications. So I want to. Well, I'll wait till the end of the year. I'll give you your champions tonight.
No sense in playing the season.
Yeah, I'm watching the Hands of Stone movie, and when they brought Roberto Duran to this country, his first fight, he was 14-3 underdog, and the guy told the mob, bet on Duran. If he wins, leave me alone. If he loses, you can kill me. And Duran made a lot of money for the mob. So, you guys don't have to bet, but here's your champions in Class A. Clareton will win again. Jeanette will come in second. Bishop Canavan will come in third. Greensburg Central Catholic will come in fourth, and Union will come in fifth. Moving on to Class 2A, and of course Class A and Class 2A will not play at Heinz Field this year. Class 2A, your 5th place team will be Fraser High School. Your 4th place team.
Did you find out where they're at?
Your 4th place team will be Wash High. 3rd place team will be North Catholic. Coach Tomlin's son should get some play time there.
Nice.
His nickname is Dino, but he goes by Michael Tomlin.
No juice?
No juice.
So what year's his son?
Sophomore.
Okay.
What position?
Yeah.
Running back, linebacker.
So he's still trying to find a place for him.
Still trying to go both ways. Jason Gilden will play his son. Neshannock will come in second, and Steel Valley will be your 2A champions. Good karma there. We had Paris Ford on the show, one of the top football players in the country. And I should also say, in single A ball, October 4th, look for Aliquippa to blow out Clairton at Clairton. I'll be on Aliquippa's sideline for that game at Clairton.
Kazan Pugh going to be playing this year? Kazan Pugh?
He's at Pitt.
He's at Pitt now?
I don't know if he's academically eligible, but he's there. Through Class 3A will be number 5, and they got one of the best quarterbacks I've seen in a long time. Keystone Oaks will come in 5th place. Go check out their quarterback. Number 4th place will be Seneca Valley. 3rd place, Beaver. 2nd place, Aliquippa. And your champions will be Beaver Falls. A lot of talent in 3A in the Beaver Valley. Class 4A, look for Bell Vernon to come in 5th. Ringgold to come in 4th. Another team that got a real good tall white quarterback. Look for Newcastle.
Little interruption, folks. It took him a little while to throw the race card out. He's back again.
Prototype. 3rd place will be Newcastle. 2nd place will be Thomas Jefferson, and look for South Fayette.
Who's their quarterback? They don't have one.
They have Saxton, pretty good quarterback, but being at Good Karma with Jody Velasquez and her daughters. 6A, look for a team that I'm real high on. 6A come in 5th place. Get out and see them. Bethel Park is loaded this year. Mount Lebanon.
Shout out to the local people. Thanks,
Shout out. I tell it like it is. I'm high on Bethel Park this year. 4th place will be Mount Lebanon. North Allegheny.
Whoa.
3rd place, they're loaded. Pine Ridgeland comes in 2nd. In the cheating, recruiting, Central Catholic will come in 1st. And I saved the best for last. Class 5A is loaded this year. Look for McKee Sport to come in 5th place. Penn Trafford, who has the son of the greatest football player in Gateway history, John Gay. John Gay, the 4th, is a star running back at Penn Trafford. He ran for 185 yards this past weekend. West Allegheny.
Thanks for the update.
Yeah. 3rd place, West Allegheny. Good karma. We had Brandon Lippert. What's his name? Lippert on our show.
That's Bob Pelko.
Bob Pelko, what a legendary coach there.
Yeah.
And they'll be playing the 2nd place team this year. I'll be at that game. They're playing Woodland Hills at Woodland Hills this year. Woodland Hills comes in 2nd. And your Class 5A champion is the Powerhouse from Gateway this year. And that's the fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac. Got some good teams out there this year.
Well, Smoking Jim, you're always controversial, but I don't know how you picked Gateway to be number 1.
They're loaded this year.
They just lost their first game.
That was week 0.
Yeah.
Gateway has a brand new coach,
Okay.
brand new system,
Okay.
brand new terminology. So
Okay.
look for Gateway at mid-season to really be maybe a team that could really upset Central Catholic if they were still in the same class. But they're only 5A, so they should easily win a WPIL.
So which of all the classes, which 4 will be playing at Heinz Field?
The classes that should be. Class A and AA is intramural in my opinion. So 3A, 4A, 5A, and 6A will be
3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, and will be at Heinz Field. The other 2 will be,
At home.
Stadium?
Yeah, at a Pop Warner Stadium, somewhere.
They'll be down to the south side.
But they'll be playing at Robert Morris. So that's who Robert Morris will probably be recruiting is Class A and Class 2A ball.
Thank you, Smoking Jim.
You're welcome.
Very informative this week. A lot of fiction. A lot of fiction there. Thank you.
Fact or fiction?
I was trying to find the fact. But
Gateway was only lulling Woodland Hills into a false sense of security last week.
yeah.
See? Do they meet up later on in the season?
That's it, man.
You just got to wait till mid-season. Thank you, Smoking Jim, for the fiction.
You're welcome.
Now let's go to Chip's Trivia Time.
Oh, thank you again, Alan. And for trivia this week, well, last week there was a lot of firsts that I went across, So I stumbled across some more firsts this week, and I
found them.
First is it's better to be first than worst, right? So we're going to go with the very first Major League Baseball game was televised as WXBS brought their cameras to Brooklyn's Ebbets Field for a doubleheader between Cincinnati and the Brooklyn Dodgers. This happened on August the 26th, 1939.
Wow.
Very first televised baseball game. And, just because, Jim likes to make note of significant events that have happened in Major League Baseball, especially, with the breaking of the color barrier. Mm-hmm. So, we know that Jackie Robinson was the first ball player to break into the major leagues. And we know and it was in the National League, and Larry Doby was the first African-American in the American League.
Right.
That too. On August the 26th, 1947.
Keep chewing that pizza, Smoking Jim.
Brooklyn's Dan Bankhead became the first black pitcher in the majors. He homered in his first major league plate appearance, but didn't fare well on the mound. In 3 1/3 innings of relief, he gave up 10 hits and 6 earned runs to the Pirates, and the Pirates won the game 16-3.
What year?
1947. Wow. August the 26th. Also, another first that I'd like to make note of here is back on August the 26th, 1999. Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson reached 300 strikeouts in record time, notching 9 strikeouts in 7 innings to help Arizona beat the Florida Marlins. Johnson achieved the milestone in his 29th start of the season.
Wow.
29 starts, 300 strikeouts. If you follow the numbers, not a lot of pitchers come close to that plateau anymore. So
even the number of innings.
kind of significant. Now, also, in this day and age, there's so many interactive games, and we've got instant access to information on our smartphones and et cetera. Mm-hmm. Well, really, the very first interactive baseball game happened on August the 24th, 1951. Okay?
Wow.
1951. And I'll tell you how this went down.
Fill in the blanks.
The St. Louis Browns owner, Bill Veeck. And if anybody knows anything about baseball history, Bill Veeck was one of the most colorful owners in Major League Baseball history. He's the one who put Eddie Goodell up to pinch bat. Eddie Goodell was a midget. Okay. Yes, and
he was a short person.
So St. Louis Browns owner Bill Veeck gave over 1,000 hands behind his dugout yes and no placards. Okay, allowing them to have a part in the strategy of the game. The fans flashed the cards when asked by the coaches what the Browns should do, and it worked as St. Louis beat the Philadelphia Athletics 5-3. So there you go. You got your first fan participation in a Major League Baseball game. Now, to get away from firsts, we're going to talk now about a last that has some significance. And being that the Pirates are playing the Chicago Cubs, who better to finish my last with other than Mr. Cub himself, Ernie Banks. Mm-hmm. And on August the 24th, 1971, Ernie Banks hit the 512th and final home run of his career as the Chicago Cubs beat the Cincinnati Reds 5-4. So
was it a good day to play too that day?
And that was Ernie's saying all the time. It's a great day for baseball. Why not play two? I mentioned this before, and it's been a while since I brought this up.
Can I ask you a question before you go on?
Sure.
I think Ernie Banks was 30 when he came up to the majors, right? But I'm not. Just say that's true.
Okay.
I wonder how many home runs he would have been able to hit. Would he have been able to break the record had he come up at 21, 22?
Here's the question that should be asked. And had the New York Giants not moved from the Polo Grounds out west to Candlestick Park, Willie Mays, who finished his career with 660 home runs, would have hit 800 home runs if he would have been playing in anywhere other than Candlestick Park. Because the winds were so bad in Candlestick that during a baseball game, a pitcher was blown off the mound in his windup.
Really?
Yes. That's how bad that. So the home run king of all time, quite literally, should have been Willie Mays.
The pitcher wasn't a midget, right?
No, he was not.
Full size.
But getting back to my, I've talked about this gentleman before, a guy named Virgil Trucks. Now, Virgil Trucks is, didn't really do much of any note in his Major League Baseball career.
Right.
And in 1952, his record for the season was 5 wins and 19 losses.
Ain't bad.
The only significant thing that he did that year was he pitched 2 no-hitters.
Wow.
Jeez.
So you don't have to be a Cy Young Award winner to pitch a no-hitter. Can you imagine that? 5 wins, 19 losses, 2 no-hitters, and, he got his mark in Cooperstown. So also want to make note of today, August the 30th, 1905. Ty Cobb played his first Major League Baseball game.
That's my favorite player.
Okay, and he hit a double off Jack Chesbro of the New York Highlanders. And if you know about the history of baseball, the New York Highlanders became the Yankees.
There's nothing I don't know about Ty Cobb. He even wore Converse.
Okay, well,
you guys are very similar in your belief system.
He wore Chuck Taylors, I bet. I think high tops.
He chased fans up to beat them up in the stands. So
okay, just a couple more here, and I wanted to make note of, and I still feel that these home run records have been tainted, with the exception of this one. On August 22nd, 1961, Roger Maris, en route to his 61 home run season, became the first player to hit his 50th home run in August.
He was on something.
Mm-hmm. Beer and hot dogs.
Yeah,
he was on the Babe Ruth diet. And last but not least, Jim and I always go back and forth because for some odd reason he seems to think that Pete Rose is deserving of being in the Hall of Fame. And I believe otherwise. So, we will agree to disagree. And I always say to Jim that, do you realize that Pete Rose wasn't even the best player on his team? The Cincinnati Reds of the 70s, the Big Red Machine, and I say that because there was 2 players that won 2 MVP awards when Pete Rose won none from that team during the 70s, and they were much better players than Rose. But one of them was, they used to say, Little Joe made the Big Reds go. And Joe Morgan, on August the 27th, 1978, hit his 200th career home run to become the first player in Major League history to have 200 home runs and 500 stolen bases.
He's overrated.
Mm-hmm.
how can you say that?
He knows the game, though. I like the way he brings the game.
Well, you know what?
Pete Rose.
When I watched him as a young man, when he got traded from Houston over to Cincinnati, because he originally signed with the Houston Colt 45s, who was the predecessor to the Houston Astros. I believe he first came up in 1965.
What year did you first get a color TV?
What are you always bringing color up for?
Yeah,
probably was surprised.
I was happy enough with the black and white TV, Jim. I didn't need a TV in color.
Was you surprised to see your favorite player, Joe Morgan?
But Joe Morgan really was a complete ball player, and he became the leadoff hitter for the Big Red Machine, the Reds of the 70s, and the rest is history. Back-to-back World Series championships.
Wasn't no Pete Rose. So.
What's that?
Wasn't no Pete Rose.
And the other MVP was who?
Johnny
Bench. Johnny Bench won 2 MVP awards, and Joe Morgan won 2.
And if you put them together, they don't have 4,000 hits.
Yeah, but you know what they have? A bust in the Hall of Fame.
Smoking Jim's State of the NFL Scouting.
Okay, no, that's what I've got for trivia this week, and more to come.
Thank you, Chip. Appreciate it, especially getting Smoking Jim on that.
Oh, can I but one more? I meant to break this one up a couple of weeks ago because I took a tour of PNC Park one Saturday morning. Wow. My wife and I went down and had a guided tour, but in the batting cages at PNC Park on one wall, they have listed all of the batting champions that played for the Pirates in the seasons that they won their batting titles. There were 25 batting champions from the Pittsburgh Pirates. There is one major league team with more.
Yankees.
No, believe it or not, that's incorrect. It's the Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Tigers have 26 batting champions. The Pirates have 25.
Ron LaFleur. He ever won one?
Not for the Pirates.
No, for Detroit.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. But here's the interesting thing: 8 of those batting championships were won by Honus Wagner.
Oh,
Really? He must have been great.
One of
He's
the
in the
greatest.
first class of Hall of Famers.
He was one of the
Really?
greatest that ever played the game.
Wow. I used to go to his store.
Carnegie's own.
I used to buy
My uncle
But
used to
I
work
thought
there.
that was.
My uncle worked
store.
at Honus Wagner
Wow.
downtown.
Wow, that's
You know,
crazy.
being a lifelong Pirates fan, I wasn't aware that there were that many batting champions that wore the Pirates Pirates jersey, and to realize that there's only been one other team.
Well, that was a National League, right? Because Ted Williams would have been winning every year. In the
Well,
American
Ted
League.
Williams, the reason why he didn't do that, and also Ted Williams, I don't believe got 3,000 hits either,
Oh, yeah,
because he served in the Second World War,
Yeah.
and he served in Korea. So he lost a
Purple
number of
Heart.
years from his
Heart.
major
As a
league
pilot.
career.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fought
He got
in 2 wars.
3,000. He got 3,000.
I would.
I don't know about that. How do you know, Smokey Jim?
Two of my favorite players, Ted Williams and Ty Cobb. I know everything about them.
And they both wouldn't have liked you.
so they'll be in your book.
That's the odd thing about it.
Hey,
Well-
I found some more posters.
Where?
They were on the floor over here.
That's why I was asking.
I don't go
Can
ahead.
you show them
Well,
before I do on
real quick,
location?
real quick. I might need. This is
Connor, we might need you to pull
Connor,
up on
you ready?
this.
You ready to do something here? This was a guy
Wow.
that you just
Tony
there was just so
Dorsett.
many reports. He was a
Dorsett.
big Converse guy. We had little Tony Dorsett shoes that kids would buy.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, they had the TD shoe.
TD
Every
shoe.
kid in America had them.
They say
And
he's
then
losing his
you
mind.
guys
Yeah.
remember these guys? Now this one was a little ripped, but
Uh-oh.
careful. Oh, look at that.
Is Bullet Bill Dudley in there? No.
That's the Hogs.
Oh, that's the
Hogs.
Redskins.
Yeah, we signed that whole line. They had them in the shoes, and
Smoking
that was that was when
Nice photo.
kept the
You're a
agent.
Rush Grill.
Yep,
Yeah.
kept the agents away from these
Who's that
guys.
62 down there? I never heard of him.
Well, I don't know, and I don't have the cheat sheet written on the back.
He wasn't no hog. Your brother's always sliding.
then-
Come on, hold on one
Wait.
second.
Yes, he
Your
was.
brother look like a hog to you. The 62, come on, man. He just slid on this here, man.
He had the shoes. He had the shoes.
And then
Very
this is
embarrassing.
leader of the pack. You know these guys from the
Wow.
Green Bay Packers.
Never seen them before.
Yeah, well, they.
Were they the no-name defense?
I don't know what they were.
They might have
Anyway,
been offense.
The no-name offensive
but that's
line
just
of
some
the
more
Packers.
treasures I found in my containers.
Is that it, Ernie?
That's it, buddy. You go ahead and do your thing, and I'll.
I knew you had more there.
Converse was signing everybody.
Oh, we had everybody back then.
That was the game.
Then we went away.
That's what they were supposed to do.
Then they went away.
Ernie was a hustler.
I rode the wave.
And we're glad you did, and you showed it on Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studios.
Used to have them suede shoes. Was that Converse?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Puma. And then
Puma. I had Pumas.
We had them.
Smoking Jim.
Bleed.
Ted Williams had 2,654 hits in
How
his
many?
career. 2,654. He did not get 3,000 hits, like I thought.
I'd have lost money.
I wasn't even worried about that.
That.
No doubt.
No, the reason he didn't was because he fought in 2 wars.
Yeah, he missed some games.
They don't count anything else then, right?
All right, let's move on. On location, we were at Atria's
Some of you
PNC
guys
Park
that took
last
out,
night.
You know, I don't know.
We had a great show there. A lot of guests from the best PA softball player,
Yes,
Chandler.
Yes,
She was a
sir.
great interview there. She's coaching, helping her sisters. So it was good. A lot of great coaches. I mean, we had great people. We had Coach Dolby with the boxers. He had 4 boxers, including his son. Then we had some guys from the Meadows, the $5 million challenge. I'm going to challenge you now, Connor, just to pull up on this. And I'm going to flip it around. You can just keep it there. This is a $5 million challenge on September 17th to 19th. They still have a couple openings. You could sign up to join this. You could win $5 million. Wow. They gave the rules and explained how you qualify to shoot a hole-in-one after it's all over. 27 holes at Valley Brook Country Club. Great event, dinners. They're going to King of the Cage fights, MMA. They got a lot of things going on. Breakfast, they got tournaments. It's just a great event. We had Don Hamill, who thought of this, who come up with the idea. He's an entrepreneur, a businessman. Just a great guest. David Wright is executive director of the local PGA headquarters here. He was a great guest too. They're doing good things out there at the Meadows, so helping the community. They're involved with hospitals there and some charities, so check it out. A lot of good stuff's going on there. So, plus we only had about 10 other guests. We'll be back there on September 12th for another show. So we'll see you then. Stay tuned. We start at 7 o'clock, 7 to 8. It was a nice time. All right, now let's move on to, what's with the Steelers there? We don't really even know what kind of team we have, because offense, they played 2 series. They look great.
Well, the one thing I know is, the injury bug, not only is the marijuana bug hitting the Steelers, now the injury bug is hitting them. I hear Marcus Gilbert
getting a second opinion, may need surgery.
He's going to be out. Cam Hayward, who knows?
Yeah.
He insists he's going to be ready for the opener, but he's got a high ankle sprain.
Well, if I'm an offensive tackle, I would hope that he would play on that one leg. You have Le'Veon Bell that's going to be out. You got Martavius Bryant's going to be out. And then
those aren't injuries; those are suspensions.
Suspensions.
Yeah,
they won't be there. So I'm predicting, and you have to tie it in with migraines.
No, he's on the pup. He's out for the first 6 games of the season.
But
short-term injured reserved.
I only went up to practice one time this summer. I was happened to be passing through.
You were lost.
Latrobe.
You were lost.
Yeah, I was lost, and I went to practice. And I'll drop some information that the Steelers don't want anybody to know. He was standing under the goalpost, slam dunking footballs over the goalpost while the doctors watch. So if you can do that, I think your ankle's okay. I think it's clear if he's out for 6 weeks that he's having concussion-related problems. I don't think anybody can slam dunk and come down on that ankle and can't play football off of it. So that's something that I witnessed with my own 2 eyes before I left practice.
This is a high ankle sprain, isn't it?
No, he has.
Is it, or what?
He has. Maybe he got a little soft in San Diego. Players is a little soft, but
What about the injury?
Yeah, they say he had something wrong with his foot, but it's fully healed now. But I think that he may be possibly retiring because he has migraine headaches due from the 2 concussions that he had last year in San Diego.
And apparently the Steelers didn't do their homework when they signed him to a $20 million contract. Now, of that $20 million, only $4 million of it are guaranteed.
I'll take it. That's
so, I mean, I would, for just writing my name on a piece of paper, I'd take $4 million every day of the week.
But I'm predicting that the Washington Redskins will beat the Steelers on Monday Night Football to open the season.
What? On the 12th?
And a score?
My cousin will be playing, Kirk Cousin, and I just think that Monday Night Football with all the injuries and like Chip said, you only seen the starters for 2 series.
I said I saw.
You did. You gotta get
they looked good, and Ben and Antonio
tell.
Antonio Brown. I mean, it looks like they're just waiting for the season to start. I think Antonio Brown, he stays healthy. He may rewrite the record book this year.
2,000 yards. I'd like to see that.
He almost did that last year.
But Ben will have to stay healthy.
And that was without a quarterback that would throw to him. Vic wouldn't throw him the ball. They treated him like he was a leper or something.
I would like to see the Dallas Cowboys sign Vic.
Yeah, so would I, because the Cowboys, the Cowboys get what they deserve. Jerry Jones is, I like to refer to him as Jerry the Genius. He's driving that cowboy wagon train right off the cliff.
Yeah.
They got Prescott, so that's good.
Yeah,
They
Dak
could've
Prescott. Yeah, he was on everybody's radar, wasn't he?
Who is he?
They blew it. They blew it.
Where'd he go to school?
His parents know.
Yeah.
Mississippi boy.
Nice.
No, but Artie Burns gets his chance to start. This
Raw
week.
Artie Burns.
Yeah, so he's going to get to start against the fourth stringers of the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, he's starting this week because the starters are down.
Right,
Okay.
right. He's going to be playing against basically everybody that's going to get cut.
Yeah.
So we'll see what kind of cover skills he's got.
Let's hope he stays healthy.
Yeah.
Well, like I said on in draft day, I took a lot of heat. I said I would draft Tyler Boyd because he could play 6 different positions. And Tyler Boyd, in my opinion, is going to be the NFL Rookie of the Year. Steelers could have signed a 6'5" wide receiver with 4.2 speed and Terrell Pryor. But now he's going to be the starter and save RG3's job because RG3, the one thing he can always do is throw deep. And Pryor's just a natural at receiver. I thought he was a Hall of Fame quarterback, but he's going to be. And the Steelers could have had both of those guys, and neither of them smoked the weed. Tyler Boyd will drink on occasion, drink and drive, but he doesn't smoke.
Yeah, we saw that. Oh, well.
Well, didn't the Bengals snatch up Tyler Boyd before we got around to him, or was he taken in the second round?
He was taken in the second round. Yeah,
second
Artie
round?
Burns. You got Artie Burns
But
there, and they're taking Tyler
when
Boyd.
you look at what the Steelers had in the offense, and everybody in the world knows that the Steelers needed secondary help in the defense. It would have made the least amount of sense for them to draft an offensive player.
Well, you got Artie Burns.
But I mean, they needed. They had a need. They went after it, and they panicked because the Bengals took the player that they really wanted.
William Jackson III.
Yeah,
right.
they really wanted him,
Right.
and Cincinnati did that just to get at us, and they had a knee-jerk reaction. They panicked. They were like, before we're left without any cornerback, we got to take somebody, and they took the best of what was left.
Oh, what a mistake.
Well, time will tell.
Yeah.
But your prediction's still Steelers are going to win the
Super Bowl. They stay healthy, which
So
they
they'll
haven't.
lose the first game.
Yeah, because they're not healthy,
They're not healthy.
and hopefully they'll do enough to make the wild
Who
card.
they going to beat?
Huh? And it was so funny. I'm watching the Steeler game on tape, and I'm cracking up because I'm thinking about Levine, the talking machine. Coach Tomlin's over there chest bumping. He's doing. Somebody got a sack. He's doing all this stuff. He's nowhere near the team. he's not even. Haley basically told him stay away from the offense. I got this.
Wow.
And he does help out a little bit with the defense now, but it's just so funny. Haley's like, I'm the head coach of the offense, so.
Wow.
But it's just so funny. He's just such.
Munchak, they don't let Haley touch the offensive line.
No,
He's the head coach.
Munchak will choke Haley, rip his shirt
He's
off.
the head coach of the offensive line.
Munchak will rip Haley's shirt off and show the whole world that yellow streak that runs down the middle of his back.
Wow, Smoking Jim. What insights. It never stops. Well, I guess we gave you a little taste of the Steelers. Smoking Jim's a gambler. If you don't bet, don't start. He's like, Washington's going to win the first game. They'll beat the Steelers. Yet the Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl. If they stay healthy, which they're not. Well, at least we're up to speed on the Steelers. Smoking Jim, what about these Buccos?
World Series. How's my boy doing, Josh Bell?
Josh Bell is showing everybody the reason why he was not ready for prime time. His defense is not yet up to par. He's a young man. He's a work in progress. He does possess some bat skills.
He been doing good at the bat?
He hit a home run last night off of Jake Arrieta.
Good.
Because
anybody can play first base.
Except
he can't.
Pedro Alvarez. Except Pedro Alvarez. But,
And Josh is a little suspect there at times.
And the thing that I find amazing about this Pirate team this year is they have such resilience. They've got such depth on their bench that right now there's not a single starting pitcher in their rotation at this moment that was in that place when the season began.
Good point.
Garrett Cole is now on the 15-day disabled list with an injury to his outside of his elbow. They said there's no structural damage. It was just some inflammation.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if he's going to be shut down for the rest of the year or if he may end up getting 3 or 4 more starts this year in September. We desperately need him. But
We need the good Garrett Cole.
But the youngsters are pitching very, very well.
Good. Good.
They're giving us 5 to 6 innings on an average. They're giving the team a chance to be in games. Now here's the interesting thing. Everybody cried and complained and moaned and talked about the salary dump that we made when we got rid of Francisco Liriano, when we got rid of Mark Melancon. But how is it that the Pittsburgh Pirates traded the best closer in baseball and made their bullpen better?
That's amazing.
That is amazing, and the statistics prove it out. If you look at what they've
10,
done over
10
the last
saves
month,
with Tony Watson in the month of August.
They save anything last night?
Last night the bullpen let them down. But you know what? There's a game being played today, and we lace them up and we play the game to win. I'll tell you what, that was a great ball game last night. If you love the game of baseball, that game gave you everything you would. There were so many players thrown out at the plate in extra innings. Sean Rodriguez made an incredibly instinctive play. Ball was bases loaded. 1 out, ball's grounded to him. He fields the ball, steps on first base, throws to Cervelli at home to complete the double play, and he had to tag the runner. Throw was a little bit off, and you don't have time to think about making that play.
Good point.
You have to just make that play.
Good point.
And that was the reason why Sean Rodriguez was brought in as a defensive replacement, and Josh Bell was on the bench at that point because Josh Bell doesn't make that play.
Well, let me ask you this. How's my favorite player since Andy Van Slyke? Everybody knows my favorite Pirate is Andy Van Slyke. How'd Adam Frazier? Is he still up?
Well, here's what the deal is with Adam Frazier. After Sunday's game, the Pirates completely wore out their bullpen, and they needed a pitcher for yesterday, to start. Stephen Brault came up to take Garrett Cole's place. So what they had to do was they had to move Adam Frazier off the major league roster onto a minor league roster. Now, here's what the deal is. If you move somebody from major leagues down to AAA, they have to stay at the AAA teams for 10 days before they can come back. So what they did was they sent him down to the single A team in Florida because their season ends on Thursday. Okay. See, so what they did to get around the rules, and this is well within the rules, is they can bring him back on Thursday, and they will bring him back. They put him on their roster on paper for 3 days, so they can get a pitcher on the roster, which they needed the pitching help. So that's what's going on. He will be back on Thursday.
Okay. And you can see him.
I can't wait. Hope he's not down in Florida acting like Usain Bolt after the Olympics.
No, he's running from the Zika virus. He's running from the Zika virus.
Well, I want to thank you guys for all the information. Thanks for watching our show tonight. Ernie, it was a pleasure to have you back.
It's good to be back.
I was glad you found those last posters again.
Yes.
You always have a little extra in reserve. I appreciate that. Smoking Jim, your insights are off the charts.
Thank you, sir.
Your race card's always there. Can't miss it. Chip, thanks for all that trivia. And thank you for watching our show. Chief, hope you're eating your dessert in peace right now after this show. Hope you learned something about sports. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next week or around town. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine, and stay Joey strong.